What's going on, everybody? Yes, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another live. You are watching Late Night with Kelly, and we got a great show ahead for you tonight. This is the second time around. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are back. I am going to finally talk about this Jelly Roll Bunny EXO divorce. Everybody's been talking about it. I've watched a lot of other content creators give their takes, and now I'm going to give my take, but there are so many angles, so many ways to look at this situation. If it's actually real, in 2026, you never know what is real and what is fake and what is for attention. So, let's not waste any time. Before we get started, make sure that you guys like this live stream right now and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss other live streams like this. I must admit, we go live randomly in the middle of the night. So, if you're a night owl, be on the lookout. So, in this live stream, we're going to talk about Jelly Roll and how he filed for divorce from his wife of 10 years, Bunny XO. And a lot of people are talking. A lot of people are, we're going to get to those videos. And another thing I want to talk about tonight is Jack Harlow. I just happen to be scrolling TikTok, and his TikTok page was in my For You page, and I don't know, I've never looked up Jack Harlow before, but I want to talk about Jack Harlow and how he got blacker and what this means. So you don't want to miss that either. So with no further ado, we're going to jump right into, the story of one of the top stories of the last week, which is Jelly Roll and, him filing for divorce. There's a lot of some people are saying, there's a lot of jokes online saying that, he basically that Jelly Roll got thinner and now he's leaving. There is so much that people are saying out there. So I'm going to play a couple clips of what different people in social media have to say about this divorce. So let's get right to it. I'm going to pull up the first clip right now. Let's see. Where is it? Yes.
Once a hoe, always, and hoes never close, they open like hallways. And Bunny XO is already back to her hoish ways. And her and Jelly Roll ain't even been divorced for 15 minutes. She already posting OnlyFans lingerie thirst traps out here.
So Jelly Roll and his wife Bunny are getting a divorce, and I think it's a little crazy, the two takes that I'm seeing from women and men. Men seem to think like, oh, well, she was a sex worker, so like it shouldn't even matter. However, he married her. Like, he married a sex worker. You must have loved something about her. And then some women are like, well, he cheated the entirety of their marriage, and she helped fund his life. And that's really messed up, because you can be with a man for years and years and years through ups and downs. She was with him at his biggest. Like, it's just really sad that you can do all of that with a man and for a man, and he turn around and leave you. he divorcing her. Like, what? You stayed through all of that, and that's why it's so important for women not to stay. Like, no, you went through all of that for him to divorce you.
Well, those are a couple of opinions. Of course, we know a lot of men, there's a lot of men, there a lot of men who hate women. So I'm not too surprised at the first guy. And then we have this opinion from this woman. Now, it's been a week now since, TMZ discovered that Jelly Roll filed for divorce from his wife of 10 years back in May. So we're hearing about this. This story broke about a month after he filed. And I watched her video where she explains they got into a fight on Mother's Day. And I watched some people break, sorry, not a fight, an argument. I've watched some people break it down based on the stuff that she was saying. And here are some of the takeaways that I want to say about, this alleged divorce. Well, first, some people think that they're not really going to break up, that, I couldn't find a verified report, but allegedly he's being sued and he may want to put their assets only in her name. So that is one of the theories. Now, I don't know anything about that, but that is something that I've been seeing people write on TikTok. And some of the other things I want to say is, first, my impressions of her, because I never followed this couple, honestly, is that I believe that she has low self-esteem or low self-worth. That's what I gather from all of this. I honestly believe that she has low self-esteem slash low self-worth. And I definitely believe her when she says that she has always loved her husband more than he loves her. I mean, you can just tell. And, women always tell other women to always make sure that the guy loves you more. And, the reason why, in my opinion, why women tell other women this is because, you know, they might think that if the man loves you more, he won't cheat. If the man loves you more, that's that's typically the only way that he's going to treat you right. If he sees you, when he thinks about you, if he feels like, wow, I can't believe I got you. Now, maybe she might be thinking that about him, but I don't see it. But I definitely believe that she really loves this man because, first of all, the man's like, he was over 500 pounds. And I don't know anybody who would date someone that's 500 pounds. I mean, that's excessive. And I know that he's a man, but that is excessive. 500 pounds. And she saw through that. Like, I mean, I could see like three something. 500 pounds? 500 pounds. Like, when I heard that, like, I never really followed him like that. So I didn't know he weighed 500 pounds. But like, that is crazy. That is crazy. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't love nobody that weighs 500 pounds. I know that sounds bad, but I'm just going to keep it real. My cutoff is probably going to be like middle 200s. That's enough for me. I don't like all that type of weight. I can't be doing that. I'm just being honest. It's late night, right? It's 12:30 in the morning. I can't be doing all that kind of weight. And another reason why I couldn't do it is because, I've noticed that people that are larger they typically feel that it's always hot even when it's not. And I understand they got a lot of extra weight on them, and I can't be somewhere where, the house has to be ice cold 24/7. I can't do that either. So it wouldn't work for me. more than I don't know what my cutoff would be in weight, but maybe like I don't know 240. I can't be doing all this kind of weight. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't. So I definitely believe that she really loved him more than he loved her. But another thing is I didn't know that she was a former S worker. I'll just say S worker. And now I know that she was doing that before she even met him. But the fact that she saw something in him, from the get go, and she took him in when he was homeless and didn't have anything. And let's be real, how many people right now have anybody that would take them in and help them if something were to happen to you right now? Like, it's not, I mean, I don't know. I guess, we all have our, maybe for some people, they would have people that they can go to, but apparently he didn't. And she helped him get his daughter back. I mean, she was a ride or die. And, I don't know what white men in the white community say, but if this were like a black couple, and especially like, a lot of black men will say, they want a woman that was there shooting in the gym, or I want someone, when I don't have anything, not when I've already made it. Well, this is a woman who got with a man that really didn't have anything, and there's no way to know when you're homeless. There's no way to know what your life is going to become. Most people probably would expect for you to stay about the same, maybe get a slightly better, upper working class, lower middle class, but no one's ever going to really think that you're going to become a household name for some people in America, and become a music become a singer, a musician. And so she got with him because she loved him, is my point. And this is what men always say that they want. Men want to be chosen not because of their looks or their height or how much money they have. They want to be chosen for who they are. So she chose him when he weighed more than 500 pounds. And that one, just that alone, I don't even know, like, I don't know. That is already enough for me. She chose him severely overweight, which would eventually become some type of massive health problem at some point. If you had to fight to get your daughter back, that's already some drama right there. And she was there with you through it all. I mean, despite her, past of what she was doing with men, she has some good qualities about her. But I ultimately believe that she has low self-esteem and low self-worth. That's what I believe. So let me know in the comment section right now, right now, right now. Let me know your thoughts down below. I love to read what you have to say. We are talking about Bunny XO and Jelly Roll, who are heading for divorce allegedly. And I've watched the videos of them two. They seem that they're kind of cordial. I don't know. People are saying this is the weirdest divorce, pointing out the fact that they're still like, talk. I don't know. They're, talking on the phone to each other. They don't see, there doesn't seem to be any animosity right now. I want to see how this plays out. We're going to see how this plays out. Now, another thing that I want to bring up, this is something that I thought about. Now, I know that a lot of men who will make videos about this are going to use this against Bunny. Because, social media, we always got to like, there's always this gender war. Who was at fault? Was it the man? Was it the woman? Blah, 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 blah. So Bunny XO is 46 years old. And Jelly Roll is 41. And they've been married for 10 years, which means that they got married at 31 and 36. Now, I saw where she opened up about the fact of her IVF struggles, and also revealed that Jelly Roll has low sperm count. Now, this is what I thought to myself when I heard about all of this. Now, that's definitely unfortunate that they're going through that. This is what I was thinking though. If you've been married for 10 years, and she said in an interview that it was 2 years ago when they decided to have a baby, that would put her at 44 and him at 39. And mind you, they got married 10 years ago. I'm thinking to myself, who the hell waits till you're 44 years old to go, okay, I'm ready to have a baby? Now, there are other women who have had babies at 44 and even older. But I'm thinking, if you got married 10 years ago, why did you wait to the eighth year to go, okay, I'm ready to have a baby? Now, I understand that people got things to do. His career took off, all of this, but you couldn't have tried this in year 3 or 4. You waited until you had been married for 8 years, knowing that you're in your 40s. And, that just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm only going off of what she's revealed. And I was wondering, like, who would wait until they're 44 if you got married at, what, 36 years old? Like, didn't occur to you earlier to, try to have a baby, try to have a baby earlier. So, based on that, that was one thing that I thought about. And then another thing that I thought about is, if this divorce is like for real, I think one of the main reasons, it may not be, I don't think it's the only reason, but one of the main reasons he's probably leaving is because if he wants to have another child, and they've already tried, it sounded like they already tried 3 times, and it hasn't come to fruition. It sounds like, I'm just trying to think about it. Okay, what are the options? You're married, you want to have another kid. Your wife's 46 and she hasn't been able to, get pregnant. So, you can keep trying, or you can get out of the marriage now, cut your losses, and find another woman that will give you that child that you want. So, I don't know how you guys look at it, but that is another angle that I think plays a factor. If he actually wanted to have another kid, like for her, she's never had a kid before. So it would mean a lot to her to be able to have her probably one and only kid. He already has 2 kids already. So I'm not saying it wouldn't be a big deal, but at least he already has his 2 kids. So I don't know. It's just something that I thought about, and I would think, I'm not saying it's right at all, but I'm just thinking like that's probably one of the main reasons why he's leaving. And who knows, after you've been with somebody for like 10 years, I'm sure it gets old. You might want something new. Think about it like this. He's dropped what, like 300 pounds? Now he's famous. He has millions of dollars now. You're not able, for whatever the reason, you guys have not been able to get pregnant because of your struggles, because of his low sperm count. And he might, all of this all together, he might just want to wash his hands clean and start over. So I know that we have a lot of comments. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I would love to read your comments. Do you think that Bunny and Jelly Roll are really heading for divorce? Do you think this is a ploy to protect his assets? Do you think that, I don't know, just tell me in general, what do you think about all of this?
So Jelly Roll filed for a divorce from Bunny? What do you mean? Bunny, the woman that took him in when he was homeless, helped him get his kid back, prostituted herself for him to have studio time, helped him launch his music career, helped him lose weight, and not only that, just accepted the man for who he was. Not to mention, I think Bunny is beautiful. So I need it to be that, she was just demeaning him, she switched up on him, she cheated. I need it to be these reasons, because what do you mean that you filed for divorce from this woman? I really liked them. I love the whole, hey, started from the bottom, now we're here. So what is it? Because if he just says, we just grew apart, blah, 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 now that he's lost all this weight, he's popping, all that stuff, I am going to be floored. Someone get me a reason quick. Jelly Roll Bunny, someone DM me. Because this is a lot. And I need an explanation. Stat.
All right, so that was another opinion of the Jelly Roll Bunny EXO divorce. And there was something she just said. I had a thought in mind. I'm gonna have to remember what I was just thinking. But let's go to the comment section and see what you guys are saying right now. Let's see what you guys are saying. Make sure that you guys like this live stream right now and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. We're going to start backwards at the very bottom. William says, I met Jelly Roll. He's not a bad person. Don't defame his name. They split up on good terms. They're staying friends. Okay. Okay. All right. We got a few comments here. I think it's all a play, but I don't know. Can't believe a lot of the BS people put out. Yeah, you just never know if anything is real or fake. And, regardless, it gets the mission accomplished to keep people talking about you and to keep you and to keep yourself in the news. So yeah, it does sound like a movie plot. I agree with you. We got another comment here. She can't have one, meaning she can't have kids, and she's blaming it on him. She's on that BS. Well, I don't think she blamed him for anything. Calm down. I watched her podcast. She admitted that they are doing IVF and how they lost some of the babies, or however the correct term is, and she let us know that he also suffers from low sperm count. So they both have their issues. They're both over 40 years old. So there's as you get older, you guys already know. So I don't think she blamed him, but she let the cat out of the bag that he does have some issues down there. We got another comment here. She wanted a way out, and that's the BS she comes up with. He can't produce a baby. That's some low down. Okay. We got another comment from Therapy. she's too old to have a baby. Well, didn't Holly Berry and Janet Jackson both gave birth at 50 years old? Ashanti, I believe she's 44. She married Nelly and had her first child at 43. So it's going to be different for every single person. So that is my answer to what you had to say. We got another comment here. At 40, why the H you thinking about having a kid? So I don't know. What do you think about the rapper Nelly having a kid at 50 after all of his kids are grown? His kids are like now around the age of 30, and then he went and married Ashanti. And because Ashanti doesn't have any kids, she's going to want to have a kid. So Nelly, is a father to a still like probably about a 1 year old now. The rapper Nelly is, the rapper Nelly just had a kid a year ago. He's like 50 years old. So, like, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? We got another comment here. It's a bunch of health problems having a kid past 40. Now, I'm going to correct you there. There's a higher possibility. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. And I mean, I'm sure that we all know people that um, they wanted a kid together. It's cool, but after 40, health problems can go to her and the kid. That is correct. But also keep in mind, you don't have to be over 40 years old or a certain number for your child to not come out healthy. Like, I know people that, had small kids that had, serious issues that can't just be fixed, if you know what I'm getting at, and they were not over 40 or close to 40. So sometimes you just don't know. So thank you for your comment. So were you guys shocked by this divorce? When I first heard about it, I was shocked. I was thinking like, we got another comment here. I'm not shocked. Therapy, let me know. Can you hear me clearly on this live? Or is there any static at all? Let me know if it's clear or if there's any static so I can fix it. I'm getting accused of defaming people. I would like for you to point out where I defamed anybody. I know I didn't say anything that was defamatory, but if I'm defaming, you're welcome to go to another channel. I haven't disrespected nobody at all. So I'm just, giving my view on their divorce and, showing videos of what other people think about it. And that's it. That is it. Okay, thank you for confirming that you can hear me clear. So, that's, this divorce got a lot of people talking. We're going to see how it plays out, and if this is really for real, I just, like I said, I feel like Bunny is, I feel like Bunny has low self esteem. That's just my, that's what I gather from all this, and one of the reasons, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And everybody's going to be checking to see what kind of girl he goes with next. Think about it. And because they're going to want to compare what he has already, uh, his wife to newer women. We got another comment here. Do you have issues down there? What are you talking about? Down there. Okay. Wow, we got a hardcore Jelly Roll fan. Everything that I've said, I'm just repeating things that she said on her podcast. I didn't know that Jelly Roll had low sperm count. She said it. And do you know that before she said it, she literally went, he's going to kill me for this, but he has low sperm count. Like, that's how she really said it. She's letting the whole entire world know to get you back. She's letting the whole world know that that he had low sperm count. And here's the thing. He's not the only guy with this problem. These type of issues, people don't like to talk about this openly. They might talk about it with a best friend or something like that, but well, first of all, it's really nobody's business, but since these people are, famous and this is how they make their money, I just don't think I didn't defame no one. She shouldn't have told the whole world that, the play by play of, what's going on in their life. So, miss me with that. I know he's definitely mad about this. We got a stand in the house. We got a Jelly Roll stand in the house. All right. So, that's my view on it. Like I said, I feel like based on everything that I've seen so far, I feel like she definitely loves him more. She has low self esteem, low self worth. She's a ride or die because you can tell that she still wants him. She doesn't really want to get divorced. She doesn't really want to get divorced. She loves him, and I do believe it. We got another comment here. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I'm going to put that on the screen. Therapy Radio, I just read your last comment. You're wild, buddy. You're wild. So, now let's move on to another story that was very popular a few months ago. And we're going to talk about Jack Harlow and how he got blacker. And, I don't know why, but I just happened to be on TikTok earlier today and they put Jack Harlow in my feed. Mind you, I barely even use TikTok, like at all. So it was like the first video that came up. And, I just want to talk about how what do you guys think about, what do you guys think about an artist like Jack Harlow who says that he got blacker and, he's tapping into his black side? The reason why I'm bringing this back up is because now I wish I could play the videos here, but if you have TikTok, you can go look this up later. On his TikTok page, but not on his YouTube or Instagram. I only seen it on TikTok and I went and double checked. Jack Harlow has been for the last month posting videos every 4 or 5 days with him riding a bike and always listening to a neo soul or soul music. So a lot of people in the comments, on his TikTok videos are mentioning like, is this a midlife crisis? Are you okay? And the reason why they're saying it is because I just lost my train of thought. But the reason why I brought this back up is let's just keep it real. Jack Harlow has been pandering to black people, to black women. And, back in March of, I got to pull the photo up here. Back in March of 2025, Jack Harlow released an album called Monica, which was a lot different from the other albums that he had made previously. He admitted in an interview that went viral that he loves black music, which means, African American music. And, how about this? Let's play this clip. And then we're going to get to some discussion on, if Jack Harlow is for real or if he's just faking it. And what would he be faking it for? Let me see if I can pull this up. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys are... I'm going to have to ban some people. Okay, let's play the clip.
What John's saying is you didn't...
What is your question?
You didn't retreat... I'll piggyback off what John's saying. John's saying you didn't retreat into a whiter genre. In fact, you arguably went deeper into...
I got blacker.
Black music.
Yeah.
Deeper into blackness.
Yeah.
So was that conscious? Was that a little twist on the typical move that white rappers make, which is to retreat back into traditionally white sounds?
It certainly made what I already wanted to do even more appealing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Because you like pushing that boundary, that line?
I think I love black music. I love the sound of black
Who
music.
among us?
Yeah, I
it's
love the sound of black music.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm hyper aware of the politics of today, that safer landing spot that a lot of my white contemporaries have found. And of course, it appealed to me to do something that I felt like at a time when there's plenty of people expecting me to take some of the routes y'all are taking.
Yeah.
To take the route that not only might not be expected, but is also the one I genuinely want to take. So all the stars aligned in that way for me, to be honest. I'm not going to pretend like what you're talking about, I was like, I guess you're right. I knew that there were multiple things appealing about this route, but I also came to the decision, I'm proud to say, off of what feels good in my ear. I love R&B music. I love the sound of soft, intimate, melodic music.
So that was, Jack Harlow explaining why he didn't go more white, more mainstream, and why he delved deeper into blackness. Did you guys catch that when the interviewer said that you went deeper into blackness? Is that possible? Can people go, even black people are, can black people and white people, can you go deeper into blackness? Deeper? That is crazy. Can you go deeper into blackness? Yes, So Jack Harlow dropped this album back in March, and it hasn't done numbers. It hasn't done any numbers. And there's a lot of different things that I think about this, what he said, which was trending all over. And that is, we got a comment here. Oh my gosh. Thank you, therapy. It's nothing wrong with loving the music, but to say you getting blacker, they looking at him like, have you lost your mind? So, therapy, did you ever see the music video for his debut single, or the first single from the album Monica? I watched it, I probably watched the music video maybe a month ago, and the love interest in this music video is a black woman, a real black woman. I mean, she was a black woman. I got the image right here. And I was thinking to myself, do you guys remember that Jack Harlow did also perform? He performed at the BET Awards when he had that one song, First Class, when it was doing really good on the charts. So this is probably like about 3 years ago. And obviously, it's not that normal or common that a white artist is going to perform at the BET Awards. The only, white artist that I can think of right now who have shown up at the BET Awards is John B. and Justin Timberlake. So maybe he was trying to let Black America know something a few years ago. And what do you think about his love interest being a black woman? And, obviously people know what they're doing. He could have picked a white woman, he could have, or his management or whatever could have picked whoever they wanted to pick. But this pivot towards, black, going deeper into the neo soul, and picking a black woman, who is he trying to market himself to? Is he trying to get the black community behind him? Because I don't see where the white community would really, I don't really know that white people, in general, got to make a generalization, but I didn't know that white people would really care about neo soul. I don't really think that they do. So is he trying to get black women, black men behind him? Pop out with a sister, make sure that she's not, heavily mixed. The woman in the video that I seen, she was a black woman, and she didn't look mixed or anything. So I'm sure that got, nobody had anything to say about that. But I don't think that he got the reception that he was looking for. His album didn't do numbers. And another thing is, a lot of people, at least on TikTok or, different sites, everybody was roasting him. And, people, I think, are skeptical. They want to see, like, are you serious, or are you just having a midlife crisis, just having fun? And, here is the picture of the woman. This is what I wanted to pull up. This is the picture of the woman that was Jack Harlow's love interest in his music video for Trading Places. And another thing I want to point out is, with this album and Sense, he's been dressing and mannerisms are black. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. And it reminds me of Travis Kelce, who also was the same way when he was dating a black woman. And we know that he's about to marry Taylor Swift in 2 weeks. He left the black community alone when she saw a bigger bag coming. But I can't blame Travis Kelce. That's a $2 billion bag and climbing. So, people are skeptical. They want to see, is Jack Harlow just, playing around? Is he a culture vulture? Is this cultural appropriation? What is next? Because, this album didn't sell very well so far. So will he continue to, to go deep into blackness? Or will the record label be like, okay, we let you experiment and have a little fun, but we want you to sell some records, so you need to go to this sound or back to that sound. So, let me know right now, what you think about this, about Jack Harlow going deeper into blackness. And I seen a black woman write somewhere on TikTok. She said, how can you go deeper into blackness when you're not even black? But that's what he said. He went deeper into blackness. He went deeper into blackness. And if you guys really pay attention, since Jack Harlow put out this album, the way that he's dressing like a black man in the 1990s. The clothes that he's wearing, these hats that he's wearing, it's like stuff that nobody's worn in like over 20 years. He's like basically he's trying to emulate, black neo soul artists from like the 1990s. And I think I watched this clip where people were playing songs for Jack Harlow, and he didn't know any of the songs or any of the artists. Now, I do understand that he's only 28 years old, so the music that they were playing for him, some of these people he was not even alive for. So, I mean, I definitely understand there, but it was kind of like a test in my opinion, it was kind of like a test to see if it was a test to see like, does he really love black music? Because that's what he said. He said that he loves black music. So they wanted to see, well, how well do you know your black music? So, he pretty much failed because he didn't even know Brandy and some of the other, songs that they played for him. I know we have some comments. I'm going to get to that. But, this is, as you can see on the screen right here, now we can't see the whole full body, but I mean, a quick look at his, TikTok and other images online, you could see that the style that how he's trying to present himself with this album and ever since is kind of like, the cool down white guy, who is trying to look like, who's trying to look like, I don't know, that he's from like the mid 90s or something. And, I noticed that in the last month, I was just saying that, Floyd has, did I say Floyd? Oh my goodness. Jack Jack has been posting these videos every like 4 days where he's being seen riding a bike and listening to neo soul. Like I saw him listening to Mary J. Blige, Sade, amongst some other artists. So I think that that answers, the question. But I know that we have some comments here. Let me know where you guys are watching from tonight. Let's see what you guys are saying. Somebody loves John B. Now we have a comment here saying, no, I haven't heard but one Jack song. Now there's this one song he had, I don't know what it's called, but it was like, it used that song First Class by Fergie. And I'm sure you've heard that song by Jack Harlow, because that was a really big hit, like probably 3 years ago. And then he performed it, I believe, at the BET Awards. So whatever that song is called, I'm pretty positive you probably would have heard that song. So I'm gonna agree with you here that he could just say he loves neo soul, and I love neo soul. I discovered neo soul, like I didn't grow up listening to it or anything. I discovered it on my own. I love neo soul. I love Maxwell. I love D'Angelo. Like those are my top two. I have all of Maxwell's albums through like, I don't think I have the first one, but I actually bought, I think the second and third. And then when he came back after that long hiatus, I had that album too. And, actually I think, okay, number one for me is D'Angelo. I don't even want to rank them, but D'Angelo, Maxwell, Erica Badu. I love Solange. I like some of Jill Scott's music. Like those are the neo soul artists that I listen to. Like I always listen to Solange, and I always listen to Maxwell, and I always listen to D'Angelo. So we got a comment here. I would leave my wife to get some Taylor Swift money. Chill out and I'll break you off, woman. So yeah, like what I'm saying is, I can't blame Travis Kelsey. I think that this is one thing that I think about Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift. He probably he probably recognizes that Taylor Swift, I looked at her dating history. It's all white men, but the white men she dated are nothing like Travis Kelsey. Travis Kelsey's a lot different than the other white men she's dated. She never dated a white dude that had swag like he does, right? So he probably knows that he could pull her easily, you know? I mean, maybe not easily, but he knows that he's different than, the bums that she was dating. They're probably like all weak and shit. So, I mean, I'm just trying to be real. Like, he knows that, she's never had the type that he is. And he just came off of dating back to back, black women. And he was in a 5-year relationship with a black woman. And, I think that's another reason why a lot of black people they just didn't even pay Jack Harlow any mind. Thank you for your comment. They didn't pay Jack Harlow any mind because they don't even know if this is just for fun, if you're having a midlife crisis, if you're going to switch up at the last second, or are you like I said earlier, are you a John B or are you a Travis Kelsey? Are you a John B. Paul Wall? Like, are you for real? You're saying that you're going to go deeper into blackness. Well, let's see. Prove it, right? Prove it. Like, do you guys think that Jack Harlow, like his next album, since this one flopped because black people did not even listen to it, and apparently white people didn't listen to it either. So black people and white people both ignored Jack Harlow's latest album. And, of course, you want to do music that is true to you and makes you happy. However, um, I would imagine that when you're signed to a actual, record label, they want to make money. So you can't be experimenting all the time. Your creative control is gone. So I know we have a couple comments here. Oh my goodness, we have a couple people watching from Houston, Texas, H-Town. We got a comment here. Paul Wall ain't never said some of the dumbest things that these white artists be saying. Well, I think that Paul Wall, he obviously is really down with black people. He married a black woman and's been with her for, I believe, like 20 years or more. Um, I've seen black women say this before about Jack Harlow, but nothing to do with this album. But even before this album dropped, I believe that Jack Harlow did an interview before years ago where he made some suggestions or hints. Oh, you know what happened? Now I really remember. He did an interview where somehow he had to talk about his top 3 women or something like that, and he had to name like who he finds attractive or something along those lines. And all of the women that he picked, none of them were black. And I remember wherever I saw this video and I read the comment section off the video, black people, obviously I couldn't see them, but the black commentators um were, how do I say this? Black women were not happy with Jack Harlow when they heard that his top baddies or what have you. I remember one of them was Salma Hayek, which she definitely is gorgeous. But black women were disappointed that, Jack Harlow, who likes to pander to black people, didn't even pick a black woman for his top 3 choices or something. So, obviously another way to look at it is when you are asked questions like this, you know, I just lost my train of thought. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about, people like Jack Harlow? Do you guys think he's possibly having a midlife crisis? Do you think that he wants to be a black artist, meaning that he wants to do black music? Or do you think that what do you guys like, what is next? Do you think he'll continue down this path, or will he revert, go back to what he was doing before, or maybe even I don't know, go deeper into black music, go back to how you were doing, again, go back to how you were doing, and
What John's saying is you
What
didn't.
is your question?
You didn't retreat. I'll piggyback off what John's saying. John's saying you didn't retreat into a whiter genre. In fact, you arguably went deeper into.
I got blacker.
Black music.
Yeah.
Deeper into blackness.
Yeah.
So was that conscious? Was that a little twist on the typical move that white rappers make, which is to retreat back into traditionally white sounds?
It certainly made what I already wanted to do even more appealing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Because you like pushing that boundary, that line?
I think I love black music. I love the sound of black
Who
music.
among us?
Yeah, I
it's
love
like-
the sound of black music.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm hyper aware of the politics of today, that safer landing spot that a lot of my white contemporaries have found. And of course, it appealed to me to do something that I felt like at a time when there's plenty of people expecting me to take some of the routes y'all are taking.
Yep.
To take the route that not only might not be expected, but is also the one I genuinely want to take. So all the stars aligned in that way for me, to be honest. I'm not going to pretend like what you're talking about. I was like, I guess you're right. I knew that there were multiple things appealing about this route, but I also came to the decision, I'm proud to say, off of what feels good in my ear. I love R&B music. I love the sound of soft, intimate, melodic music.
And I must say that I love it too. I go through my phases. I don't listen to R&B music all the time, but because I've listened to it so much over the course of my life. But I go through my phases. Sometimes I need a little reggaeton. Sometimes I need to listen to rap. Sometimes I listen to neo soul and R&B. I am definitely more into the neo soul sound. I love it. It is such a good vibe to be listening to D'Angelo. And have you guys ever driven across, went for a road trip while you're listening to D'Angelo or Maxwell? Like it's awesome. It's awesome. It's definitely awesome. We got some comments here. He's about to get him a ghetto white chick that act black and is an influencer. Do you guys think that, do you really think that Jack Harlow is going to really get a ghetto white chick? Because a ghetto white chick is probably looking for a black guy. Or what do you think? Or do you think that the ghetto white chick would pivot back to a white guy? So I think a real ghetto white chick doesn't want a white guy, but that's my opinion. Well, I listen to a lot of different music, but I'm definitely not into country music, and I'm not into like rock music. The only music I listen to is number one, but probably right now, like it's gonna be rap. Oh, I could see the ghetto Latina. I could see that. I don't see the ghetto white girl. If you're talking about a white girl that's ghetto that would date a black guy. Like if we're talking about the ones that date black guys, then no, unless they just want money. But if he didn't have money, I don't think he would get a ghetto white chick. I could see the Latina. And that was something I wanted to mention. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I think I did go through this, but I might have forgot to mention that maybe a couple of years ago, Jack Harlow did an interview where he was talking about, he had to they asked him right on the spot about which women he found attractive or something. And the girls that he picked, none of them were black. And black girls were mad because they were saying oh, I knew he was bullshitting when he said that he loved black women. I guess he must have said something like that, prior. And then when he was asked what women that he likes, he didn't pick anyone black. So black women got mad. So, I don't know. I think that when you release a music video and your love interest is a black woman and you are a white man, that's already sending a message, because there wasn't really any reason why he needed to put a black woman in his video unless he's trying to capture a certain audience or, something like that, but what do I know? What do I know? What do I know? We got another comment here. Latinas is like white and black, but they light skinned, so it's like you kind of do them both. Well, I don't know what Latinas you see, but I don't know. Like, I live in a state that is, very heavily a lot of Latins, and some are more white based, and some of them have a higher concentration of indigenous, native, you know, you know, and so I don't agree that they're all light, but I don't know. I could see him with the Latina. I think that right now, with what he's doing, if he comes out with a Latina, like you said, or a white girl, he will probably be permanently canceled by black women. They'll be like, like what I pointed out earlier. They'll be like, oh, I knew he was just bullshitting, that he was just pandering. Um, So I don't know. I do take him at his word that he just likes black music. And Therapy, can you hear me clearly, or is there any static? Let me know right now. You know what? I just double checked and I sound good. This is actually the second stream of the night. The first one, I just couldn't get the sound to be good. I had to end up, ending the live abruptly and, starting all over again. Um, we were talking about Jack Harlow and how he got blacker, how he delved into his blackness and made a neo soul album. Now, I will say this, I've listened to the album plenty of times, and it's not the best singing in the world, but I do like the style. Like, it depends on what you're doing. Like, I feel like if you're like going for like a road trip, this is where neo soul, like, let's just say you're out in the country, you're not in your city doing the hustle and bustle. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comment section. You guys, make sure to like this stream right now. Make sure that you are subscribe to the channel. Thank you for letting me know that I sound clear. So Therapy, did you see the music video that he dropped? He had his lead single from his album Monica was a song called Trading Places. And his love interest in this music video is a black woman with natural hair. She's not like Oh my goodness, guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me right now. Let me know if you guys can hear me right now or if there's any static or sound. All right. We are back again. We are talking about Jack Harlow and how he, at the age of 28 years old, we're talking about how Jack Harlow, at the age of 28, has tapped into his blackness and, how he became blacker. He said it, not me. He also said how much he loves black music and neo soul. And the reason why, I wanted to talk about this, the reason why I wanted to talk about this story tonight, although it was talked about heavily when he released his album back in March, is I don't know. I picked up TikTok. I don't really go on there. And he was presented to me. I don't look him up. And I went to his page and noticed that he's been posting every third or fourth day a video of him on a bike, and he's recording himself listening to typically neo soul or R&B music. Not one of the artists that he showed himself listening to was a white artist or any other form of music. So, a lot of people in the comment section are writing like midlife crisis, and hinting at the I got blacker comment. And one thing I wanted to say about the I got blacker comment that he made, I think that, of course, he knew what he was doing when he said it. He knew that he knew that it would, get attention. Like, let's not play stupid. He knew that it would go viral. He knew that it would get attention, and he thought that that attention was going to get him, views, streams. I'm sorry. He thought that that virality was going to get him streams. And, that's how everything works nowadays. He knew what he was saying was wild, but, he thought that black people were going to go run and go listen to it. Like, think about it. It's good marketing. If you go run to go listen to somebody's album because they say they got blacker, you might go, and even if you go and listen to it once, you just gave it a listen and now you just made him some money. So, but the strategy ultimately didn't really work, as this album is his, I believe, lowest selling album so far to date. Now, I've listened to, I have listened to his album, and I will say it's not as strong. I will say I do like the production because I love neo soul. So for me, I like the production. I think that his singing was okay, not like great or anything. Are you still here, Therapy? Let me know. I think that his singing was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, the static is back. Okay, so I didn't think it was like groundbreaking or anything, but it was decent. It was decent. He's definitely gonna have to step his game up if he's really serious I don't know if he's trying to become an R&B artist or what's going on, or if it was just, for fun. But I think the album, for me, I've listened to it plenty of times. It's an album where, you could just be, going for a drive when you just want to chill. You're just chilling and you play it. Like, it's okay. It's okay. But definitely isn't on D'Angelo's, Maxwell's, definitely not on their level at all. uh he probably, so I will say this, you can tell on some of the songs that there is, you could hear his voice, but there's definitely background singers that are singing along with him on some of the songs that make it sound better than what it would sound like if he was, if the lyrics were sung only by him. So there's like some harmonies like with other background singers or whoever's singing in the background. But I would have to see him perform some of these songs live to see if he can really sing or not. But you're not missing anything if you don't hear the album. It's not like it was John B or anything. I didn't even know, like, when I was growing up, I definitely remember those couple songs by John B that were very popular, but I was like a baby or something, so I didn't even know like what he looked like or anything. So like, I mean, that's not even something you think about when you're like 5 years old. Like I had no idea what this guy looked like or anything, but I'm sure he used auto tune, and like I said, the singing's okay. It's not, when I say it's okay, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not like, oh my gosh, he can sing, this is great. But it's okay. I got it in rotation, when I want to hear. Because the thing is, I honestly have, okay, so we know that what D'Angelo has like 3 albums. Maxwell has, I don't know how many albums. I've played the hell out of all of those songs, and also Daniel Jones too. I've played Daniel Jones, Maxwell, and D'Angelo and Erica Badu to death. So like right now I'm not really listening to them because I've played it so much. You know how we go through our phases? So I played the hell out of all of their songs. So I need like new music to listen to. So like I said, his album is okay, and some of the songs are pretty good. But as you can see on the screen here, that is the love interest that he put in the music video for Trading Places. What do you think about that, Therapy? I know you were saying, wait, you said think about it, getting light-skinned black mixed woman. Why does Jack Harlow need to get a light-skinned black mixed woman? Most black people are not light-skinned and mixed. Well, they might be mixed. We know why, but I'm not even going to get into all that. But I think that if he wants to get brownie points from the black community, if he wants to be, if his mission is to rise in the black community, if he picks or debuts himself, dating a light-skinned black woman, I don't think that that's going to help him very much with black women. Black women are going to want to see Jack Harlow with a black woman who looks like them, not a racially ambiguous black woman, because they already complain about black men doing that already. So why would they lend their support to play your album if you pick a woman that is mixed looking? So I don't know. What do you think? I'm saying that if he came out with like a black woman, like I'm talking black, like I'm not saying you have to be super dark, but if he came out with, just a real black woman, then he will rise in the rankings. If he comes out with a Latina or whatever what you're telling me about a mixed woman, I think that they'll be like, see, I knew it. I knew he was lying. And another thing I wanted to just point out that I've noticed is, you see how he's wearing like this hat, like in the picture on the screen here. I noticed that with this album, and I never analyzed his career before this. I noticed that I think I did mention this earlier. He's with this album and how he's portraying himself in social media. He's trying to, like, he's making sure to wear clothing that is reminiscent of how the neo soul type of black man would have dressed like in the 1990s. So, like, I don't know, it's very calculated, and I'm sure that he did not think of all of this by himself if he's only 28 years old. I'm sure that he has I mean, to me, it would be obvious that he has a team around him telling him how to dress so that he could appeal to, the demographic he's trying to get. So here are a couple images of how your boy Jack Harlow has been marketing himself ever since he's released this album. And it's been funny. A lot of people have been saying, like, in the comments, like, where is he getting all these hats from? And how people, they use the AI and they'll show pictures of him, with black male, hairstyles. It's been pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So like I asked earlier, here is Jack Harlow here on the left. Will Jack Harlow be a John B, as you could see right here on the screen? Or is he going to pull a Travis Kelce and go back and get himself a white woman when he's done with his experiment? Do you guys think that this is for real? Is this him letting us know something? Or do you think that he's going to go back and get a white woman once he accomplishes what he's trying to accomplish? You guys, make sure that you like this live stream right now, and make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. You're watching Late Night with Kelly. We've been talking about Jelly Roll and Bunny XO and how he filed for divorce after 10 years. Yes, after 10 years of marriage, he got skinny. He's got more money. He's no longer broke. You guys haven't been able to have a baby, and he just wants to get out. He wants to cut his losses and move on. He's thin. He has money. I don't need you. Goodbye. I'm the prize now. And, we just got done talking about Jack Harlow and how he got blacker. He delved into his blackness and released a neo soul album that, was pretty decent. So I think that's going to do it for tonight's show. I want to thank everybody who left comments and participated. Make sure that you guys check out my videos, and I will probably be live tomorrow night. So make sure that you guys hit that notification bell so that you don't miss me going live, and make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel, and I will catch you guys on the next one.